Something has to give. If these lockdowns in South Africa do not come to an end, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I just came early on this afternoon. What time is it now? 5:28. I went to town at 2 because I wanted to go to the bank and I wanted to sort out something with one of my accounts. And I get to town, like, well, just, you know, the one main street where you're about to now cross over and go into town. And I'm like, wait, why are there no cars at the little shopping center? Nothing at all. And I'm like, okay. And then I go to the garage. Nothing. It's closed, shut down. Go to the next shopping center. Closed. I'm like, what is going on? And I just spoken to my husband. And he was telling me, listen, do you have food? I'm like, what do you mean I got food? I have food, but you know what I mean? Looting all over this country. Is this about the former president? Absolutely not. This shutdown is absolutely not about the former president. This shutdown is about sending people into lockdown and not giving them a financial injection to make up for what they would have or might have been able to make, just pounding the pavement and hustling for themselves, their own living. Not everyone is formally employed, so the country being open and running free and trade running free all the time, a lot of people are dependent on that for a living on a day-to-day basis. And when you lock down the country and you say to people, go home, stay there for 14 days, and no, I'm not giving you a check to make up for that 14 days, you've effectively halted the economy of a country, the flow of money, the exchange and flow of, you know, liquidity and money throughout that economy and that society. And you're saying, go and see for yourselves how you're going to fend for yourselves, what you're going to eat. Just keep taking deep breaths. That's exactly what you're going to eat. This is not about the former president. I couldn't care less about the former president. He's a former president. He's no longer in the view of our view. He's no longer in the view of our present or our future. He's no longer in the view of our forward movement in this country. This country is not contingent on him being in any position for us to go forward and live our lives and live prosperous lives. So just being here in and out, at times that I'm here, I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. This is not about KZN. This is not about the former president. This is about a callous and careless present presidency that is out of touch with what's really going on outside of billionaire fences. That's what this is about. It's about just having no sense of empathy, no sense of awareness that if a person's not a billionaire, if a person's not a millionaire, if a person's not 1,000-millionaire or 100-millionaire, or, you know, whatever the equivalent of that is, it's up to them to literally pound the pavement on an hour-to-hour basis, on a day-to-day basis, to make sure that they have food, they have shelter, they have the basics. And if you shut down a country and you send them home and you don't give them some kind of injection that's going to make up for the fact that you're saying stay at home or stay under the bridge or stay in the corner where you usually stay and go nowhere else, then you are frustrating just their ability to survive. You're saying go and die somewhere in a corner. And this is why I feel really uneasy about presidents that are billionaires, or candidates that are billionaires being in the running for presidency. Personally, I'm not one of those people who's anti-wealth. A lot of people build from scratch and make wise decisions around wealth and money and assets, and eventually compound to a point where they're really wealthy, just based on being wise around finances, wise around wealth. And so I'm not one of those people who's anti-wealth. You can be a billionaire, a trillionaire, a four times millionaire, a hexamillionaire. If you put that together because you were using your gray matter and you weren't taking from others in an unfair manner to be able to get to that, but you were working smart and you were doing, you know, whatever you were getting led in your spirit to do, and you were taking those scary steps, and you got to be a 15 times billionaire or millionaire, whatever, kudos to you. I'm not anti-wealth. What I'm anti is a president who's wealthy and does not have any kind of real concept of what the regular man, woman, child out there living outside of the fences of billionairedom is going through, what that life is like. Somebody who's absolutely lost touch with that and is really not thinking about, and only starts speaking to the country from a perspective of middle class and upwards. What about working class? What about those stricken by poverty, abject poverty? And I would say that's what the art of running a country is. It's really being able to think about, yeah, the middle class, the wealthy, the rich, but also think about, what about the person who's like living under the bridge? What can we do for them? The person who is affected by abject lack and poverty, what can we do for them? How do we include them in our thought process so that they're not left out of the discourse of how this country runs and how this country extends welfare to its citizens? I have never seen anything like this. I'm not shook, but I am shocked. You know, shook means that you're nervous, you know, and you're like, oh. But I was just shocked to be just driving around town on the edges of the suburbs and just seeing all the shops closed and everything shut down. And I'm like, what? And I bet you coming back, the prices are going to skyrocket, but be able to afford them with what? With the amount of unemployment there is in Mzansi. So this is craziness. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you really think that this is really about KZN and the former president? Or do you actually see, what are your thoughts? What is this really about? People are hungry. People are frustrated. People are highly educated and they're being kept out of jobs. That's what this is about. People are being having doors slammed in their faces, and they've done what they were told. You should do this in order to be able to get in here. They got educated. They did whatever they were supposed to do to be able to qualify and to be able to walk through certain doors. But they see on the other side that people who don't qualify, who don't even know how to conduct themselves ethically, who don't even know how to do their job that they've been given, that they don't qualify for, earning, being stable, being secure financially while they suffer. That's what this is about. And rectifying that in the country, and literally just honestly thumping down on HR and what really goes on in HR, and really doing a proper kind of taking of inventory at what's really going on in how people are hired and who is hired and why they're hired, as opposed to this other person who could do everything that this person can half do, but they didn't get hired. So there's a lot of frustration, and I'm utterly shocked. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm very disheartened. I mean, how do you even plan to have children in a country like this? That's running like, oh, we're going to shut down now for other things. No, the shutdown is only regarding the pandemic. It's not regarding this, that, and the other. Please, let's not get like obsessed with ukuvala and shutting down. No, this is not how we run our country. You know, if we're going to make sure that we have presents that are fun and futures that are prosperous and things and something to look forward to. Well, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And let's talk. This is crazy though. Why am I back here?